Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. So, the Orioles got into Arizona okay. First game didn't go that great, but the Orioles were able to take the next two games. Did get some bullpen help? No, not Felix Bautista. Oddly, there isn't any update on Bautista's condition to what I've seen, which, sorry to say, but I think that means the worst. I mean, he's not going to be available this year and next year, which kind of sucks. But I think if there was better news, we'd have heard by now. But I guess only time will actually tell. See, I am on MassonSports.com. Let's get to Friday's game in Arizona. Baltimore Orioles 2, Arizona Diamondbacks 4. After seeing this series, I think I'm going to start calling the Arizona Diamondbacks the Orioles of the West. Very odd to see Christian Walker, former Orioles prospect, out there. Starting pitcher that night, Zach Davies, also former Orioles prospect. And you will see later, Miguel Castro is also pitching for them. And who calls the games for Arizona Diamondbacks? Well, Rodrigo Lopez does that. So, a lot of former Orioles on that team. Well, let's check out what the current Orioles did. Rutschman, batting leadoff still, 0 for 3. Did not benefit from getting 2 days off. Very disappointing. Henderson, 2 for 4. No runs driven in. Well, there really wasn't anybody on base for him to drive in. Santander, 0 for 4. Not great. O'Hearn, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. That is great. Of course, they only scored 2, so O'Hearn was their only offense, really. Hayes, 1 for 4. Mullins, 1 for 4. Westberg, DHing this time around, 1 for 4. Frazier got to start at second, 0 for 4. Urias got to start at third, 1 for 3. Though Urias was the only one that was able to work a walk. O'Hearn, Henderson, Westberg doubles. Mullins got his 16th stolen base. Urias did have a throwing error. But it's hard to generate offense when Zach Davies had the Orioles lineup off balance. He is more of a, how do I want to say this? He's more of one of those crafty old left-handers. Pitches a lot like Jamie Moore used to. Uses his changeup a lot. And the Orioles did not do great against it. See what the Orioles pitching did. Cole Irvin started this game, 5 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk. Did strike out 4. Those are not great numbers. Of course, no numbers look good if your offense doesn't score you any runs. Bullpen did look a little better. Crable goes 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, no runs, does walk 1, strikes out 2. Fujinami, stacking more good appearances, pitches 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Cionel Perez gets the last out for the Orioles. 1/3 of an inning pitched. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Somewhat of an uneventful game for the Orioles. Not a whole lot happened as far as they're concerned. Zach Davies shut him down, and Christian Walker hit his 29th home run. Yay, so glad we gave up that guy. Oh well, it happens. You win some, you lose some. All right, game 2, much better. Baltimore Orioles 7, Arizona Diamondbacks 3. As you can see, most of the Orioles offense were in this fourth innings where they put up a 6 spot. Rutschman DH'd, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Henderson 0 for. It's not good for the top 2 spots of your lineup where they're getting offers on alternating days. See what they did Sunday, though. Santander 1 for 4. McKenna came in late defensive replacement. Santander got hit on the hand. So we'll see how that affects Santander going forward. Hopefully it's not too bad. And, it did look like it got him really on the meaty part of the head and not on the bone part. So may have dodged a bullet there, even though Santander couldn't dodge the ball. O'Hearn 1 for 5. Hayes 2 for 4. Mullins 1 for 3, 3 RBIs. Arias 2 for 4. Frazier 1 for 4 with an RBI. McCann 1 for 4 with an RBI. Mullins worked the only walk in the game for the Orioles. Very low walk totals is somewhat concerning. McCann, Frazier, Santander, Arias doubles. Mullins, that 3-run home run, would have made Earl Weaver proud. And Rutschman, home run. Bradish got the start in this one. Again, another great performance by Bradish. Somewhat of a quiet contender for a late season award. Pitches 6 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks. Is somewhat high for him. Does strike out 6. But all in all, the whip is only just a bit over 1, so you'll take that. DL Hall, another good performance out of the bullpen for DL Hall, which we'd like to see because we do need bullpen help. He is one of them. I will talk about another one next game. Pitches 1 1/3, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Though I will say the umpires calling balls and strikes had a pretty large strike zone. But I don't really like it because it is inconsistent with other umpiring crews, but it was fairly consistent for Diamondbacks and Oriole pitchers. So there's that anyway. Jacob Webb finishes off the 8th inning with 2 outs. Doesn't give up a hit, a run, or a walk. Strikes out 1. Crable finishes off the game. Does give up a home run, though. But that was it. It was only a solo shot. And he struck out 1. Oh, here's the other Oriole I was talking about, Miguel Castro. Didn't look too bad. Didn't give up any runs. Struck out 1. I was a little disappointed that we let him go, but you're in the middle of that rebuild and you had somebody doing a little better. You move them and get some more pieces for later on down in the road. Last game of the series here. Orioles 8, Diamondbacks 5. You can see the Orioles put up 2 early and was quickly Jack Flaherty ended up starting this game. He ended up giving 1 run right back. And then, before Flaherty exited, did let the Diamondbacks tie it up. But the Orioles in the 6th inning able to put a 4 spot up there and take the lead and hold on to it. Rutschman back behind the plate today, yesterday, Sunday. Back behind the plate Sunday, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. Did work a walk in this one. Henderson, 2 for 5. There you go. Thank you. Way to do it. Way to get hits in the same day. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Santander, 1 for 4. Also worked a walk. So maybe the hand not bothering him too much. Did DH in this game. Mountcastle over. McKenna into the game late for defense replacement. Because as you can see, O'Hearn in here actually got to start in right field. He went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Hicks, that's right, Aaron Hicks back up off the injured list, and Colton Cowser sent back down. Hicks did go 0 for 3, but he did work a walk, so there is something there. He was able to play most of the game. Did get Hayes in late. Haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that he was taken out because he re-aggravated an injury. Most likely it's just trying to ease him back in. Hayes did get in the bat, but struck out. Mullins, 3 for 5. 1 RBI. Arias, 2 for 4. Also worked a walk. So, Orioles were able to work 4 walks in total this game. Frazier, 2 for 2. He was pinch hit for late. But it was Westberg, so Westberg goes 1 for 2 with an RBI. So, yeah, that's why Westberg is right-handed hitter and Frazier is left-handed. So, that's why. I mean, that's one of Brandon Hyde's favorite things to do. I think I would like to would like Hyde to leave people in more often and try to not always play the matchup. Because, yeah, your left-handed hitters are never going to get hits off of lefties if you always take them out. But it does work out in your favor many times. Or enough that you want to keep doing it. O'Hearn, Rutschman, Westberg, doubles. No home runs in this one. Stolen base, Santander. So his legs are still working. And maybe a little bruised, but his legs still work. Rutschman thought he could do the same thing and steal bases. But they tried to do, they tried that old double steal thing. You had a man on, Rutschman was on third. I can't remember who was on first. But they tried that double steal, man from on first base goes to second base. And you try to get the run in from third base. Well, didn't work. I want to say it was a shortstop, cut the ball off, fired to the plate. Bang, bang, play, but they got Rutschman at the plate. It's kind of sucks. Jack Flaherty, as I said, got to start this one. He goes 4 2/3. Gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Why the bad performance? Well, I'll tell you about that. Watching the game, I had real problem with this call. I mentioned the umpires were in a very large strike zone. Who was it? Perdomo was on first. Carroll hits a ball towards second base. Who was it at second base? It was Frazier. Because it got to Frazier quickly, Perdomo was not at second base yet, so Frazier goes to tag the guy. Well, Perdomo starts running around on the infield grass. He's at least, I want to say, 5 feet into the infield grass to avoid the tag. So that was allowed to happen, and therefore there were no outs gotten. I don't know where the rule changed there, but You're 5 feet into the infield grass. How are you not out of the baseline and therefore called out? Because Padermo ended up scoring. But he should have been called out for running out of the base path. You can't go that far out of the base path. There's no way. There's no way that rule was changed that way. Yes, you can go a little bit out of the base path to avoid the tag, but you can't run 5 feet into the infield grass. But, I mean, it's what Major League Baseball wants. They don't want great calls made by umpires. They want all these bad calls. Lets them control the game more, I guess. Otherwise, why would you not want to have calls made correctly all the time? Because there's no way that was a correct call. Man was out of the base path. Oh, another Oriole. Totally forgot about that. Jace Peterson spent some time with the Orioles. Christian Walker hit another home run. 30 home runs now. Last 2 were against the Orioles. Funny how that works. And as you can see, it was off of Cano. Coulomb comes in relief of Flaherty. So this would have got the last out in the 5th inning and pitches the whole 6th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. So good job, Danny Coulomb. Cionel Perez gets the 7th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, strikes out 1. This Jay Lopez, that's right, Jorge Lopez, the same guy who last year Michael Elias traded for a few pitchers, including Yanier Cano, is back with the Orioles. Funny how the universe works like that. He was claimed off of waivers. I think it was Miami Marlins, had him last. Or he was claimed off waivers either Friday or Saturday, I think it was. And designated Austin Voth for assignment. So, Voth out. Jorge Lopez in. Oh, and did I say Cowser went down? Yeah, I did say Cowser went down for Hicks. 2 big moves. So Jorge Lopez, back in the Oriole uniform, 1st inning pitched the 8th inning. Somewhat of a close game. The Orioles did have a 4-run lead, so it's not that close. Doesn't give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, strikes out 1. Cano in, not a save situation. Does pitch the whole 9th inning. Again, gives up the solo home run to Christian Walker. Pinch hit home run. If I remember correctly, right? Yeah, Walker, pinch hit. Or what? Well, he did pinch hit later in the game. He ended up getting 2 at-bats. So, the home run wasn't a pinch hit home run, technically. Right? Yeah. Because he had 2 at-bats. But Cano didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out, but that's okay. We got the win. You didn't get the save because it wasn't a save situation when you entered, but... And look at our old buddy Miguel Castro over here. Strikes out too. Didn't give up any runs. That's nice. Good for him. Alright. So finish up the first series on this 9-game road trip. 2 games out of 3 with Arizona. And here is the article that Rock Kubatko wrote. He wrote this yesterday, so he wrote this Sunday. Talking about Lopez and Hicks getting added and Cowser and Voth being designated for assignment. Is there anything else of important in here? I don't remember. I don't think so. No. Not a whole lot yet. Also, no Jackson Holiday yet. So, see about that. Oh, that's what he mentioned. Rock mentions in the article, and that's why. All right. Now, because Lopez was not with the organization prior to August 31st, he is not eligible for postseason appearance or eligible to be on a postseason roster. But he is eligible to help us get there. There is that. But both, if he does make it through waivers, should still be able to be on a postseason roster if needed. All right, let's check out what the standings are, see what Tampa Bay did. Well, still hovering around 2.5 games back of the Orioles. Good for us. Blue Jays 10.5 back, Red Sox 14.5 back, Yankees 17.5 games back. I love it. Still under 500. It's fantastic. And the Minnesota Twins in the AL Central finally got to 70 wins. Mariners are on a bit of a streak. Now you have 3 teams in the AL West with 76 or 77 wins, the Mariners being one of them. Mariners have played 2 less games than the it's the wrong symbol, but I'm going to say the Houston Astros, because if you can see this, it does say, the words say Texas Rangers are in second place in the American League West, but this logo is the Houston Astros logo. And down here where the words say Houston Astros, this is the Texas Rangers logo. So, to make sure I keep an eye on that and saying the right team, I mean, the website is wrong. So, these 3 teams are, they're duking it out down there. Braves are up to 90 wins. They got a stranglehold in their division. The Phillies are 15 games back. Wow. Braves. Well, the Diamondbacks, sadly, because they lost. Wait, let me refresh this. I thought I had refreshed this. Okay. Maybe I hadn't hit the refresh button. The Diamondback, because the Giants had a worse series, but yeah, Diamondbacks. I mean, they're still fighting for playoff spot. All right, did this fix it? All right, it fixed it. All right. I wonder if it was in my last video. I wonder if I didn't even notice it. I don't know. I could have sworn I refreshed this stupid thing. Well, that's why you got to make sure you hit the little refresh button, I guess. The records are the same. There's 68 and 69. That's odd. All right, let's check the schedule out. All the way down, almost to the bottom. We're getting there. All right, the Orioles start a 3-game set in, I guess Anaheim, or is it Los Angeles? Los Angeles Angels of the Anaheim. They're wherever the Angels play, whether they're the California Angels or the Los Angeles Angels or the Anaheim Angels or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, that team. They're playing these guys. Well, look, all 3 games are scheduled for 9:38 p.m. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Orioles will have an off day Thursday as they head to Boston. It's odd when these games start. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, it's very weird that no update on Felix Bautista, but picking up Jorge Lopez, yeah, I think that kind of spells it out there. Felix Bautista most likely is not going to be available the rest of the year. It is possible the Orioles are at 38 players on their 40-man roster. So who's that spot for? Yeah, wishful thinking that Felix Bautista will be able to be on that way. He should be on. No, he's on the. It should be on the injured list. John Means. It's something that Rock Kubatko also mentioned. It may have been one of his different articles. Means is nearing being able to come back, and it is possible that that 40th spot is left for John Means. So will we see John Means in this series in Los Angeles? Hopefully. I would love to see John Means pitch again. Meaningful games for the Orioles. Alright, so my next show will probably be... When's the off day? Thursday? Thursday is the off day. So that will be my next show Thursday. That's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.